I'm just glad he's paying me because Mike is just an...
Rolling.
What? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, it's time for your weekly Fix the Funny. Can I get another one of these? I'm going to need this. I'm about to do this shit. So I'm okay, I swallowed it. So grab a cocktail, take those pants off, and treat yourself to the sexy bald man that makes you tingle in your special place. Woo! I'm wrong! Got my mind on my money, my money on my mind, bitch! I'm house announcer Chet Jackson, and it's time for the Me, Myself, and I show with Mike Bencourt! Are we done? Yes.
Me, myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I.
Okay, I can't be too loud. I was requested from the family, don't play this. I can't play this on my show. I have to. I've been doing it for 3 weeks. I can't stop now. But I'll go quieter. Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Me, Myself, and I. I'm your host, Mike Bencourt, episode 148. You hear me? Hold on, camera's out, in and out. You hear me? 148 episodes. Me, Myself, and Iers. We're getting close to 200. What does that mean? I have no idea. I don't know. I haven't reached 200 episodes yet. When I get there, I will let you know. In the meantime, maybe it's a good time for my audience, all 12 of you people. That's right. I see the eyeball. I see the thumbs up. Thank you, 12, for being here tonight. Maybe we should start thinking about a 200th episode. What do you want to do? Let me know. Let's talk about what's going on in the world today. But before I do that, we have a magnificent guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's an acting teacher. He's a guitarist. He's a filmmaker. He's an amazing human being. He's a big staple here in Sacramento. Mr. Dennis Glasco is here. And why do I bring him? Well, you always wonder, Mike, why are you such a good actor? Well, it's not because of me. It's because this guy says, learn how to read, Mike, and I will show you the rest of the way. So he is here waiting. We have comments already. What is the comments right now? Nathan Reedy said, share, stop screaming, Cobra Commander. Yes, listen to the Cobra. And another person, Mr. Chris Laird. Did you see the dedication? Chris, I played Mark Reblet's Funktown. So thank you. Another Stampede. Ooh, the New Year's Eve Stampede was a huge success. Maybe for the 200th episode. Maybe. So, but let's talk about what's important, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about what's on today's topic. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Everyone talks. It's already, you see, as soon as you turn it on, what's Corona, president, now mass shootings. I don't want to talk about it. We're all talking about it. Okay? I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about what's important for real, and that's congratulating Kane from the WWE. Our whole world's falling apart, and I'm congratulating Kane from the WWE on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's more important than any coronavirus person out there. Kane being inducted into a fake ceremony and fake wrestling means a lot because I believed in him. I literally thought he was Undertaker's brother. I did. And when I found out, I mean, I know with all the stomps and throwing him into the fire, yeah, fine. That's all choreographed. That's all predetermined, and you can't. But when I found out that Kane was not Undertaker's brother, the Demon Kane, I was crushed. But it's okay because that's what wrestling does to me. It brings me in. It breaks me. It makes me cry. It makes me angry. And everyone's like, "Oh, how could you watch it? It's so fake." Well, what's your favorite movie? Oh, it doesn't matter because it's fake too. But at least with wrestling, we have a fake induction, and that is Kane. So congratulations, Kane, and congratulations, everyone, for being here tonight. It's Thursday Eve. I'm sorry, it's Friday Eve, Thursday night. And also, we have Mr. Carlos Cavillo just said hello. What's up, Carlos? Welcome to Me, Myself, and I. We have an amazing show tonight. How you been? How are you and the lady doing? I hope all is well. You have to realize Carlos and his beautiful girlfriend, they both came to my shows when it was allowed to see other people in real life. He's been around for a very long time. So, Carlos, glad you are on the show. Glad you're still supporting me. You're like, God, Mike, make it big already. Come on. I don't know how many more times to support you, but Carlos, you did. So, all right. Normally, right now would be the time for me to introduce Dustin's thoughts, but unfortunately, Dustin Wood is not here. My correspondent, Dustin Wood, is not here. It sucks. He's a great correspondent. Hopefully, we will have him back next week so I can yell at him. No, it's not. I love Dustin. I love Dustin. So you guys are like, who the hell is Dustin? Well, tune in next week. Dustin's coming back. But before Carlos says, thank you, brother. Amen. Thank you, sir. Before I bring up Dennis, I was looking for like a certain acting reel to show his talents, but honestly, it's this one teaser trailer that shows off everything that he has to say about his acting ability. And when I met Dennis, he was such a great human being. We talked about acting, and he says, what are your weaknesses? And he really helped me break the mold of being afraid to memorize lines and just trying to he actually broke script scenes down and acting down. So before I bring him up, hold on. I know anticipation. Let's see what Brian Harlan says. Brian Harlan says they need to put Nacho into Wrestling Hall of Fame from Nacho Libre. That is true. They will. I hope so. And let's see. He says, I heard he's out here. Oh, Jesse Baldwin, Machete Mike. It wouldn't let me comment. You just comment, brother. Let's see. Chris Lair says, I heard he's out buying a mask. Yes, well, Dustin will buy a mask. So let's move on with the show. So before I bring up Mr. Dennis, let's just play this teaser trailer of a short film he was in called Amusia. And it's a beautiful movie, but I don't want to ruin it. I want you to watch this trailer, just look at this amazing acting, and then we'll go from there. So let's just set everything up, and I'll be quiet.
I will wake with the morning. I will follow the sun, rising up from the shadows, taking flight, it's begun. The collapse of the moon, it has left us blinded. We make a way through this night on wings. Ooh, on wings. Ooh. You flew through the sun and into my heart. How bright your gaze, and you move through the sound, pounding into my heart. There's no escape. The collapse of the moon, it has left us blinded. We make a way through this night on wings. Ooh, on wings.
Right? You want to see it, huh? I saw the movie and it's amazing. And you can watch it too, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a great movie. And Dennis can tell you more about it from Amusia, ladies and gentlemen. He is an acting coach. He's a guitarist, filmmaker. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a me, myself, and I welcome Mr. Dennis Glasco. Hold on. Dennis, you're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted again. That's because I'm a dick and I just muted that one. But
Man.
the first one was, how you doing, sir?
Good, my brother. How are you?
Dude, such a range of emotions with that, just the trailer alone, man.
No, they did a great job on that. So
you want to explain how you got a part of that movie and how that happened?
I got called to an audition that they were doing for it, and actually it was kind of cool because the casting director really kind of pushed me to come get audition for it, and I was in a position where I wasn't really sure I was going to be able to do it. So, and then I was able to get it in there, and I got there and did a monologue that they asked me to do a monologue, and I did my monologue, and it was it was just one of those moments that I kind of felt that it was right, so.
Well, just the trailer alone just shows the range of emotions your character had to go through, and you could just tell. Go ahead.
It's an interesting script. It was an interesting script. I wasn't sure. The actual movie was actually much longer. Mm-hmm. So the script that we were auditioning with was quite a bit longer. So,
can you talk about your character? Will it spoil anything?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the movie is basically it's in relationship between this guy and his family, this dad, his wife and his son, and how it gets kind of hurt by this tragedy, and it causes this kind of division between the father and the son, and it really brings out a lot of different dynamics when it comes to acting. So, and it was great because at the audition, it was, the director, Eric Presnell, kind of, had us do a read, and then he had me do a monologue, and I think that monologue was ultimately what got me the role. So,
what did you have to do to prepare for that role? Did you do anything specific?
It's funny because we were supposed to shoot a completely different scene. The first day that we were shooting, it was supposed to be a completely different scene that was kind of more upbeat, and we got a call the day before. Yeah, I think it was the day before, that said, oh, we have to rearrange the shoot because there was a cancellation with one of the locations or something, or they had to rearrange one of the locations. So we're actually going to be doing like one of the most emotional scenes first.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, I'm Dennis. Start crying out of nowhere. Damn.
Like, okay. So I
no buildup, just straight emotional. Wow.
Okay, we're gonna do the saddest scene in the whole film, so that's cool. And
you're like, nice to meet you, by the way.
So I wasn't actually prepared for that. So, but it's great that we still pulled it off, and I had a great time. And Andrew Bond, who is the son, the guy that plays the son, man, what an incredible kid. I mean,
oh, it's a great movie all the way around. Elias, one of our listeners, Elias just said, this movie looks beautiful. How much sign did you learn?
How much sign did I learn? Here, hold on.
Zip.
Pretty much nothing. And which is actually part of the point of the movie as well. Right. So yeah, so the really cool thing is that this is a movie that actually impacted the deaf community, and they actually saw this movie and really liked it, and it has kind of permeated into the deaf community really well. So
that's great. That's great.
It was really great, and credit to the director, Eric Presnell. He had this vision, and and it worked. And he had a great team. I mean, Joe Ramos, the DP, and Alyssa Carter, and I mean, it was just a great team.
Yeah. Well, the great thing about you is like you've always been honest of what's it like to experience great and bad things on set. You don't sugarcoat anything, which is excellent. But at the same time, I can't watch a movie anymore the right way because you've broken down the lights, the acting, everything. I'm like, dang it. Yeah. Like I know the scene before. I mean, it's great to know that and all because we're in the artist and we're seeing what's going on ahead. But where did you study that type of format?
Real life.
Real life?
Yeah, real life. Just doing it.
And what about where did you start acting? I'm sorry?
I said being around people that do it.
Right.
You know? I mean, there's obviously some, technical stuff that I studied, but for the most part, I mean, most of the stuff that you're going to learn doing it.
Right.
You said, where did I start acting?
Yeah.
Oh,
where did you what made you get into the acting business and break into that?
When I was a kid, my dad had been dating an actor at the time, an actress. I don't want to, get unpolitical, politically correct. Excuse me. He was dating.
You can say whatever you want here on me, myself, and I. We don't give a shit.
Oh, excellent. So he was dating an actor who was a female, and I was a pretty shy kid, extremely reserved, until I got to know you, and then I kind of came out of my shell, and she kind of saw that, and she suggested that maybe I would take to acting, that it might be something that I would like. And so my dad had got me into this, it was kind of like a acting conservatory where they did a lot of theater and then a lot of training. They did things like fencing, which I loved, and I learned how to fence, at like 11,
Man.
and I really took to it. It fit me. And so that's how I started. And I started doing a lot of theater and that kind of stuff. So.
And you studied certain methods of acting, correct?
My teacher was Stanislavski teacher.
Okay.
So I started off with, a Stanislavski, method of teaching. And, I did that for probably a couple of years, I guess. And
what is that method?
That Stanislavski?
Yeah.
It's I kind of look at Stanislavski as kind of like the analytical point of view of acting, because they say that like the way that I see some of the different styles, some of the different methods, like Meisner, for instance, if I was to compare the two, I would say Meisner would be more for the personality who is very kind of outgoing and in the moment. Whereas a Stanislavski method is really kind of more for that kind of analytical. They want to know, the specific, how to do something, very technical, and neither one of them is right or wrong. It's just more about what responds to your personality, And
so what responds to what character you're trying to be? Would it be a Stanislavski character or a Meisner type character? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, no, I look more at it like as far as how that particular method you're able to respond to. So if I said, well, I want you to be more in the moment, as how do you feel right now? Right. That would be more.
A lot of coffee right now, so I'm ready.
Yeah, right. So like we're doing a scene, right, and it's like, how do you feel right now? Right now as a person, how do you feel right this second? Right. That might be a little bit more Meisner. Right.
Okay. Do you want to try it?
This from how do you feel right now?
Do you want to try a method, or is there any way we can? Okay, so
Sure.
Go ahead. You break it down.
Okay. So
Anxious,
you and
tired. I'm sorry. I thought I was playing.
there you go.
piano.
There
Sorry.
you go. Right there.
Sorry. Anxious,
How are
tired,
you feeling?
upset.
Sometimes. Now, let's just say that you need to be a character right now who is dealing with your wife just left you.
Okay.
Okay, so in this moment right now, you have to deal with finding this out.
Finding out that she just left me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're finding this out. So now you've got some questions, right?
Right.
Now, how are you going to respond to those? How do you feel?
Confused.
How do you feel?
Confused at first.
Okay. You're confused. Okay.
Because she just left and figured out why and what did we do wrong.
Okay. Okay.
What did I say last time I saw her?
Okay.
How are the children? What are we doing? What the hell is going on right now?
Okay.
Why is this happening?
That's how you're looking at it right now as a person, an actor, right?
Right.
Someone that's you're kind of now. If I said, okay, so now I need you to be that person. I need you to go through those emotions.
Okay.
Right. So now this is where this is going to differ. If you were kind of trained up in like a Stanislavski style, all right, you would have a different way of approaching this than you would if it was brought up in like a Meisner style.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because and by the way, most of these methods are taken from Stanislavski anyway. So
by the way, I also
on something a little different. That's all.
I also figured out why my wife would leave me right now. What was
okay.
what
Well,
this
don't
this
us.
right here would that would cause it. This
that
right
would be
here
the
would I gave it away too. Damn it! I gave it away. What, honey? Did she leave?
Yeah, and and really, it's hard to put all this in a nutshell, but
right.
I'm just trying to kind of give you kind of a bird's
But
eye,
it triggers my
quick
subconscious
point of view
to
of
start
how I
thinking.
kinda see it, so.
Right. It triggers my subconscious to start thinking
Right.
as that actor, as I'm going through my files and figure out the emotions and how to react. And would that character care? Would he give a shit?
Right, and
Would
those
he
are all
not?
questions that have to be answered, right?
According to whatever the writer wrote for that type of person.
Right.
Right.
And so you have to interpret all that.
In a matter of
now
seconds
it's gonna be
sometimes.
whatever your training was, right, is going to be what helps you determine how you approach that. I think what I've seen happen in a lot of instances is people get kind of stuck when that particular method or whatever they have been brought up in isn't working.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's all kinds of fixes for this kind of stuff, but if I said, okay, so I want you to think about the last, like, let's just say that the director is telling you, I need you to, so we're getting ready to film this scene. I need you to be able to cry. Right. This is always the go-to for a lot of actors. Like, how do I get myself to cry? Right.
I know. And make it look good.
One side of the fence will say, if your character is supposed to cry, they will.
Wow.
Right. That's going to be one side of the fence.
Okay.
Another side of the fence is, well, what you need to do is you need to think no more than 5 years ago. Don't go more than 5 years. What is something extremely sad or something that you experienced as a human being that you can remember? And then I want you to dwell on that for a little bit. I really want you to think about it. So now this would be a little bit more getting into probably a little bit more Stanislavski.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Whereas maybe Meisner's side might say, dude, your wife just freaking left you. You're not that. How does that make you feel?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? Right now, how does that make you feel? If your wife left you right now, how would you feel?
The first thing that came out.
So that might be a little. That would be maybe a little bit different point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, different personalities are going to respond to those differently. So. Right. If you're more of an analytical person, you might respond a little bit more to something that's a little bit more like technique a little bit more dynamic as far as in the moment, or it might be a little bit more like, well, all right, let me think about this. What's something that's really, really, man, my dog died last year. That was really sad. I remember, thinking about that time, and and how it affected my children, and so maybe something like that would be a way that you would start, conjuring up these emotions. When was the last time you cried? Well, I've never cried. Use it. You know what I mean? There's always going to be these obstacles that we have to overcome. So, and when it comes down to what I typically tell people is methods are great for, I think, for knowledge nowadays, the way that they do acting nowadays. I think we have to be a little bit more flexible in all those areas. There's no one blanket thing that can work for everybody. There's no one method that works for everybody. There's no one way to do anything. So you really need to be a little bit more versatile and be able to approach things from different aspects.
Is that because of the times is different, or is it just because acting has changed?
Acting has changed a little bit. It's a little bit more real as far as what they look for. When you're doing films and stuff, you're not looking for plastic people. You're looking or mimics. You're not looking for mimics. You're looking for someone that can really be real. The audience is going to relate to real now. Everything's about being real. In fact, sometimes when you go to an audition, you'll hear the casting director or whoever's running the session say something. Okay, no acting. I don't want you to do any acting. You know what I mean? And it confuses actors that are new in the business because they're like, well, but I thought that's why I was here.
Right. So do I get the job or don't I?
So you don't want me to act, right?
But you want me to act without acting.
Okay. But that's kind of what that means, though, is that when we say no acting, we just want you to be real. This isn't, I don't want you to try and do anything. I want you to be this person, and I want you to give me your interpretation of these lines and this situation and what's going on. And sometimes our interpretation is not their interpretation,
Right.
and that's okay.
That's such a weird line to juggle with, because you want to get the job, but you want to pick your right choice, and you always find a different choice when you leave the audition. You're like, damn it, I should have went with this choice. It would have been much more work. You can't recover. Right. I've done that many times. Why didn't I not do this? We got a comment. Chris Laird has a comment. Says, speaking of wrestling, Dennis has the Val Venus look going on. Dennis, I don't know if you know who Val.
What is that? Is that
I'm about to show you. Don't worry. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Val Venus.
I'm pretty scared right now.
Val Venus. Hold on. It's nothing bad. He was just a wrestler that had a porn star gimmick.
Okay.
Saying your hair is the porn star gimmick. There he is. Val Venus. Hello, ladies.
What the hell?
So
he doesn't look like he has hair.
Right. Well, right here he does. Can you see it? Is it bigger? Nope. No, it's not. Oh well.
Okay.
So there you go. Val Venus. Miranda Forcier says, Dennis Glasco, love seeing your face. Is that a mullet? Damn, everyone's just hating on Dennis today.
It's not a mullet.
I think it's great. He's got a hairline.
It's not a mullet.
Doesn't have split ends. He's got long hair.
COVID rebellion hair.
Right. That is the totally rebellion. That's that's Eric Roberts from Best of the Best. That's who it is right there.
Well, you know what it is when my hair starts growing out, it gets just so unruly, and it just gets like it starts going any way it wants to go. So I'm just like,
I would love to have that problem.
Sorry, didn't mean it.
I was in the moment. I did the Meisner. I just grabbed the moment and went with it. I have a problem with that. my anger issues of my hairline where it went.
You know what? You can live vicariously through my hair. How about that?
That's fine. The Val Venus mullet. I'll take it, dude. I'll take it.
That
So-
and the person that I used to cut my hair for many years when I stopped cutting hair because of COVID. So I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna wait until she gets back to work.
You're like, no one's touching the dew.
Not touching the hair.
Nathan Reed says it's Tom Cruise in Magnolia.
Hey, I'll take it. If only I could have Tom Cruise's check for Magnolia. That'd be
Seriously. My goodness. So with
awesome. The plan
Stanislaus
is to get it down in the middle of my back right there. So
right there, that's the goal to get that
that's the plan,
long.
get it out of the way.
You'll be the Witcher. Is that what-
Right, exactly.
Be ready to fight.
Because all I have to do is buy muscles.
That's it.
You know.
You could do that nowadays. You know,
Yes, I
you just
know,
got to
I
be in
know.
the moment and feel like, how would you have muscles right now? How would you be?
Yeah.
How-
This is if I had muscles, this is what I could look like too.
right. So with Stanislavski and Meisner, you've also was
And there's
studied
several others, but
right,
you know,
but you also studied at the Groundlings, correct?
improv, yeah.
Improv.
I studied improv at the Groundlings. I had studied other improv before that, but I think that was my. You know, I think that Groundlings was probably the best experience of improv I've ever had.
Mhm.
So
Why
I
is that?
definitely give them credit for that. Because they opened it up in a their training is so good. You know, I mean, if you really go there and you listen to your teachers and you really do this, it is just it's hard to beat it.
Mhm.
You know, one of the things that I noticed right away is, and I think it was our first class. My teacher, who is Jeremy Rowley, who you guys probably see all the time on the progressive commercials with was it Courtney, Stephanie Courtney, you know, the
Jeremy
progressive
Rowley?
lady. Yeah, so Jeremy Rowley was my first teacher, and he's so funny, you know, and he's just so good. And the first class, one of the first things we learned was we're going to teach you to play off of the top of your intelligence. Right.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, what does that mean exactly? And they showed us what it meant, which is we weren't allowed to go blue, which if you don't know what that means you can't just go for the low hanging fruit of going into the gutter. You know, everything can't be a penis joke or, you know, or, going for
That's
the
where
sex
comics
jokes
write the
or-
best. It's a
I
good
know,
peanut.
right?
It's a good dick joke. Sometimes you just need that low hanging fruit right in the gutter. You
And
pick it out. You go,
do it.
smells like a good dick joke. Let's go. But sometimes, not all the time.
And
Sometimes.
it's just hard to yes and that stuff, you know. And when you do yes and that stuff, all it does is get worse in the gutter.
Right.
And so
Right.
that was the first thing is they nixed that. So there's no going blue, right? And then no going for the lowest hanging fruit. We want you to play off the top of your intelligence. And they gave us, there was exercises and games that we did, and how to get us to 10. We always talked about going to 10. So in the first class, they would teach us, okay, let's find your 10. What is your 10?
Oh, wow.
And a 10 meaning like, let's get your emotion as high as you can get it. Right. And so here's all of us monkeys in this class, just like, doing all this stuff. And then in comparison to the last class, like our 10 was way different.
Uh-huh.
So their training is just, it's undeniable. And when people see it on your resume, I think it makes a difference.
Right.
And as far as LA goes, if you go to like the East Coast, I mean, you're probably looking at like SCTV, those kind of, ones are a little bit more popular on the East Coast. But as far as LA goes, the Groundlings are the ones, man.
It's funny that you
Look
just
at
said
all
that.
the Groundlings that are out there. Will Ferrell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's so many. You see him on Saturday Night Live all the time. You see him on Mad TV. You know, I mean, they're everywhere. And then when you realize, oh, that's a Groundling. Whoa, what? You know.
Intense training. Right now, one of your students, Mark Gonzalez, just said, literally at this moment, I'm taking a Groundlings class. We're on break. Thanks for the inspiration, Dennis. Full circle right there.
That's awesome, my brother. That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
I'm so glad to hear that.
He's literally at a Groundlings as you're talking about. Stars are aligned, man.
I remember when he went to audition for them. That was great. That's awesome.
That's awesome. So cool. So how long did you study at Groundlings?
About 3 years.
3 years. And then where'd you go after that?
After that, that was it. For that, I did a couple of things at UCLA that a couple of classes I was interested in at UCLA and that kind of stuff. But for the improv stuff, I think I got what I wanted out of it, and that was that. It wasn't my goal really to be a Groundling, because that's extremely hard, right. And you have to really, work your way up through the system. And I didn't want to be in LA that much, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So I had other things I was doing that would have taken a lot of my time. So right, it's a commitment, especially moving to LA. That's that's your life, 24/7. I had a very dear friend who made it into the Sunday Company, which is where they actually audition, where they pull people from to actually be in the Groundlings comedy troupe. So there's if I remember correctly, I think there's about 33 Groundlings at any one time in their improv troupe. Wow. Okay. And then every time somebody, someone's career takes off or something like that, then they go into alumni, so Will Ferrell's, he's an alumni because he used to be part of the troupe, but now he's an alumni, because his career just took off. Right. And so she was part of the Sunday Company, where they actually recruit the Groundlings from to replace the Groundlings that have to, leave the troupe. Right. And I think her competing partner was Kristen Wiig.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. She's like, you have no idea what my future is going to be like. Just want to let you know. Could you imagine? No pressure, nothing, no jealousy, no envy, none of that.
Yeah. And I got to go to their it was basically the audition show. Mm-hmm. So the Sunday Company show that they auditioned for the people that made the decisions in the Groundlings for who they were going to pull. So that was really fun. It was great to see.
You're literally watching film and television history at the making. You're literally watching them pluck someone and say, this person is going to be the next icon. Yeah. As you're going to this class. Yeah. Wow.
And
it's like a real
talent, it was amazing.
I can imagine.
All the talent was amazing.
Right. That's got to be a lot of pressure, though, for someone that's trying to break in. I got to go against who? I can't even imagine. What did you do
that was before we knew who Kristen Wiig was.
Right.
That was, we didn't know.
Right.
I mean, but imagine going to a comedy show, you're getting ready to go on, and someone comes up and says, hey, by the way, Jay Leno's in the audience. He's going to be watching you.
Yeah, no pressure on that one either.
Yeah, no pressure, bro.
I'll go straight to the low-hanging fruit. Go right in the gutters. Dick jokes.
Get it over with.
He's like, I don't like this. I'm going to get out of here.
That's great.
I don't think this is a good one. You heard about this? You heard about Mike Bencourt? You heard about this? That's my chin. You heard about?
And by the way, Nathan Reedy, by the way, was he started out going. It was me and Nathan Reedy and I think three other people were going back and forth to Groundlings.
Wow.
So yeah, so Nate was part of that. I mean, and we became a very tight knit group.
Can you explain with? You don't have to say any names, but I always like to talk about the horror stories. Go ahead, you can drop it if you. But what was your worst, either time on set or the worst time at an improv show that everything went wrong? It's a good laugh. That means I can't say. I got to be careful what I say.
You know, I think they all go wrong. To be honest.
Okay, that's a good answer.
You know, I think that's what makes them good.
Well, I mean,
That's
like,
the whole point of improv is
Okay.
that's, you know, you're going to yes and everything. And sometimes, you know, it might not be. Here's what makes improv go bad: when you try to pre-plan stuff
mm,
and make it fit in your pre-planned idea. That's when improv goes bad.
I'm sure, has that happened to you?
That's yeah.
Was it frustrating?
I can say that it's happened quite a bit. You know, where you're trying to yes and something, and someone's trying to pull a joke out of something on purpose instead of just going with the scene. You know, and part of improv is it's building blocks as a team, not as an individual, right? And sometimes we get these ideas that, oh, but I've got this brilliant idea and I'm going to take this idea, not realizing that it's not really yes-anding what your partner just gave you.
Mhm.
You're just trying to capitalize on something so that you can look good. Right?
Very selfish.
And that's something that Groundlings really trains you out of.
Right.
And the other thing I respected about Groundlings is not everybody was someone that they said could come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if, you know, first of all, you had to audition to get into the school.
Wow.
Okay. And you had to pass the audition. And there was only one of two places that you could be. You could be in like intro to basic or basic. And there was it didn't matter how much money you had or how much star power you had. Right. Those were the two levels that you could get into from your audition. There was no other way around it.
Such a elite group.
Yeah.
Such an elite. And they really cherish that. That's amazing because
it's what makes them good.
Right. Because they care about the art form. They're not caring about or hurry up and get famous. They care about the form, the art form of improv. Because that's what you do in movies. You improvise, you read each other. You've ruined every single movie scene, by the way. I remember one time when you broke it down in class and you broke everything down behind it, and then I watched the movie the next time. I was like, damn it. I can't watch this movie anymore. Just ruin it. But what I like about talking about, you know what's great about you is this what made me want you on the show is we were breaking down comic books with a lot of people don't understand like the realism of acting that's in these movies.
Oh yeah.
People see like let's talk about Man of Steel. I mean, let's take that away. Let's break down that with your acting training and everything. What do you see from that makes that a really good movie?
There was, you know, I was a fan of Man of Steel. There was some people that were punking it for some reason.
A lot of people didn't like it
necessarily, but you know, I think it was Henry Cavill did a great job. I think he captured what they wanted, you know, and it was obviously filmed well. I mean, there's going to be, you know, aspects of probably every single movie you watch that you could have, you know, done without or something. But
it's funny that you brought Henry right away, and it was talking about your acting abilities and skills. The levels of his character, he was confident, he was angry, he was sad, but underneath all of that, he's scared.
Yeah, exactly.
He is terrified.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot on his shoulders, literally. You know, I mean,
yeah, but the way you like taught me and taught a lot of actors, break it down to the core. He is a little kid that's a Greek god, basically, and he's scared of what? Either his strength. I mean, what do you think he's scared of from watching Man of Steel?
Maybe disappointing his parents, you know, not living up to his dad's standards, making sure that he doesn't use his power to, you know, in a corrupt way. You know, I'm sure there's all of those, that fear there, you know.
And he doesn't even say it. You could see it.
Breaking it down, you know, if you're going to break down the characters, like, and I'm sure that, you know, when he was going through this role, he was breaking it down in all different aspects like that. You know, it was, man, what is it? What am I afraid of? And what are my fears as Clark Kent, and what are my fears as Superman?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or what are my fears as, you know, this iconic godlike person? You know, like, you know, I mean, I would break, you know, that would take a while to break that stuff down, you know. And I
Right.
think he did a good job. I thought he did a good job. I was a fan of the movie, but I like those kind of movies. I go to watch those kind of movies because I grew up with comic books, and I loved Superman as a kid. I loved those comic books and Batman, you know. And I'll tell you that in that movie, I think Henry Cavill did an amazing job of when he had to fight Zod,
Mm-hmm.
when he had to make a choice, you know, and you can see it in his face. You can see he's like, you know, don't make me do this,
Right.
you know, and you can see it. And I wish I could have been on set and watched that, because as an actor, I want to know, like, first of all, how many takes did that take? I'm guessing probably not a lot, right? And then also, I would love to have just been able to feel all that emotion there on that set that day.
Right.
You know, filming that scene, it's like, okay, so he's getting ready to kill these people, and you know, you've got him wrapped up in your I mean, you're trying to stop him, you know.
The way you describe it makes
on his
me.
face.
The way you describe it and everything behind it makes me want to watch it again. But that scene alone got crap reviews.
I know. But
Like, oh, look
you
at
know.
Superman. He just turned his neck and killed him. But you're breaking it down to the story of what this whole movie is leading up to.
Yeah.
Is saving humanity, not using his strength, be more like a human, because he's terrified. And the one thing that he's terrified of doing, he has to do.
And on top of that, he's the only one that can.
Right. He's the only one.
So he's the only one that can make this choice. Nobody else can make this choice. He has to make it.
And he knows it's going to happen throughout his whole life. It's going to happen. He's been waiting for this moment.
Sets a precedent, right?
Right. The prophecy of who he is sets. How did he not lose any hair with all that stress? Seriously, because if I was Superman, I would have been bald as soon as I got to Earth.
I'm
in Earth. I'm in Earth right now. Gone. My super hairline is gone. I'll be so stressed out.
You know what's funny? Someone's out there right now listening to this going, you guys realize that Superman's not real.
It's fake, just like wrestling. Not with Kane. Not with Kane.
He's real. I'm telling you, he's real.
He's the mayor right now. I think Tennessee. But yeah, Kane versus Superman. There we go. There's some acting. Let's see what happens there. I want to make that happen, either in the middle of the wrestling ring or something. Kane versus Superman. Let's go. There we go. So,
and I'm gonna say something that's caused like lots of controversy, and people are gonna, like throw rocks and stuff like that. Is I actually didn't mind Ben Affleck as Batman. So
I loved it. I thought he was great as Batman.
I just wanted you to know that like half your viewers probably just left. So they're like, peace. Gotta go. They're
that sensitive over one Batman. Out of how many Batmans have we had? Who's the next one?
I'm not saying that he was better than necessarily than everybody else. I'm just saying I didn't mind him. It was fine. Yeah,
he remind me of Batman the animated series a little bit. Okay. The way he looked. The way he looked. I liked his voice. It wasn't Christian Bale. It was robotic, letting you know. By the way, I'm not going to deepen my voice. He's like, I'm not deepening my voice. Robin Colburn just said it perfectly. Geeks. That's right. We're having a geekathon here on Me, Myself, and I with acting, wrestling, and comic books. So, but you were in a band too, right? You're a guitarist. Yeah.
I've been in lots of bands throughout the years.
How many? That's a true guitarist right there. You don't say with a hair like that. You've traveled the road, dude.
Oh,
How long
man,
have you
I've
been?
got pictures, my friend. I've got
I'm sure you have
pictures.
all the cool hairstyles, dude. Not jealous one bit. Not a. How long have you been playing guitar?
Oh man. Uh, decades.
Decades.
Yeah, I mean, at least 3 decades.
What made you get into it?
I had a friend. Trying to think. Like I originally started out wanting to play drums,
Okay.
and so I had a couple of friends that had drum sets, and when I lived in Las Vegas, and I'd go to their house, and we would just like play on the drums, and we'd play 2 albums. At the time we had these things called records. They were these
They're back.
black.
Kids know
They're
what
black
they are.
CDs. They're
Right, the
big
big
though,
ones.
like the little CDs. Yeah, they were big black CDs,
There's no such thing as a playlist.
and
It was album covers.
we would play those, and we'd play along to them and stuff. So I originally started out playing drums, and my friend, one of my other friends, started playing guitar, and he was super into Kiss, and he wanted to buy an Iceman guitar, like what I think Paul Stanley played at the time or something.
Okay.
So he kind of got all involved in that, and then my grandfather had bought me this little Sears acoustic 3/4-inch guitar. It was literally like, I don't know, you can't even see, it was small. It was a little, not a very good. The action was like that high. You try to make a chord and it just not in tune.
Mhm.
One of those kind of guitars. And I think my friend was listening to this Kiss song. I remember it was a Kiss song called Black Diamond. And he was playing it in his, when I was at his house, we were just kind of talking, and he was just kind of playing the chords, while we're talking. And I was like, that sounds really cool. Can you show me how to do that? And he's like, sure. So he showed me how to play these chords, and I went home and I took that little acoustic guitar and I was like, okay, I'm trying to remember how to play this. And that's kind of what got me going, and then
Wow.
the next thing I was transcribing Blizzard of Oz, Randy Rhoads, like trying to transcribe it on this little acoustic guitar. I had to borrow his guitar so that I could
Oh wow.
try to play to the record and try to transcribe it all. And so that's kind of how I got started. I bought a chord book and started learning chords and that kind of stuff. So
Just been hooked on it since.
yeah, it was kind of like the acting thing. It just
Yeah.
was something that I just really liked.
When you're playing guitar, do you feel the same way you perform at Groundlings? The same improv method of thinking?
I've noticed that in my acting and my music, how much they actually coincide with each other.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm playing, when I'm playing my guitars, it's usually it's an extension of my mood, right? So now when I play, I'm usually just picking it up and just, I'm not playing anything specific necessarily. There are times when I do that, but a lot of times when I'm picking up my guitar, it's this is how I'm feeling, and this is what's coming out, right? When I'm obviously when I'm working with a band or something like that, then I'm in a different mindset, because I'm having to break down some things. But the thing I really love about playing guitar now that I had to grow into, just like with acting, is that I can just pick up my guitar and improvise, and what comes out comes out, and it's how.
So you're switching chords without even thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it's just I'm playing kind of how I'm feeling,
Is there any chance you can play right now?
Can I?
Improvise what you
I don't know how I can improvise what I'm feeling right now, but I'll try.
It's up to you. You don't have to. We're at an hour. Dude, can you believe we've been here for an hour already?
No way.
Yeah, we've been
Wow.
here for an hour and 3 minutes. So if you want to play, you can play. If not, I'll just hold it over you.
I do want to give a shout out though to Sally Forcier, because she's actually the one who I'm just backtracking real quick. She's really the one who pushed me to audition for Musia.
Okay.
She was really the one that kind of really pushed me to do it. She encouraged me to be there.
Right on.
So shout out to you, Sally. Thanks a lot.
It's a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. If you guys can I think there's a link somewhere. If
I'll
not,
tell you what, I got this. I got you, Dennis. Check this out. Boom. You can find Dennis on Instagram.com/Dennis Glasgow.
Boom, look at
And
that.
when you go there, you can click on his link and you'll see a Musia there. Boom. That's how we do it here on Me, Myself, and I. Oh, like a. This is just a music intro before the music intro. Before Dennis.
Hey, look at that. Huh?
Oh,
Huh?
nice.
Look
Is that Gibson?
Right there. There's
Nice.
a beauty.
Look at that. Many nights. Many nights. So, all right, man. Well, dude, you play away. I'll remove myself, and you got the floor.
Wait, what do you mean? Where you remove yourself? Where are you going?
I'm just going in the green room while you play for the audience. I'm not gonna be
What?
here side by side.
What? I'm not gonna do that.
See that? You see that? You missed it. Just that. I'll keep quiet. You got the full
I'm not
show.
gonna. I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a purpose. Like for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis.
Actually, I'm gonna give you a purpose. And
Okay.
I'll show you.
Thanks for being here, by the way. I really appreciate this.
Hey, thanks for inviting me. I'm extremely excited to be here. Actually, I get.
Oh, Elias just said, when does the movie come out, or if it's already out, where can I find it? Again, Elias, you can find it on DennisGlasco.com. I'll have the links and everything ready, and
I'll try to find. I had to find out if there's an actual link that people can view to the whole movie. So
okay.
I think it's a 29-minute movie, and I will probably post it either on. I can send it to you if you want to post it as well. I guess.
Sure.
I have to make sure that that's okay.
Yeah. Once you do, send it to me, and then you can watch this episode with the links, the rebroadcast on youtube.com/MikeBComedy. See that? You see how I snuck it in there?
I like how you do that, my friend.
Just stick it in. By the way, you can see Dennis at Instagram.com/Dennis Glasgow. See? Sticking it in all the time. Here on Me, Myself, and I.
All this technical stuff down, so
I got to do something after 148 episodes. Something's got to happen.
Right. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Can you get? There you go. I can hear it. Can it? People that are watching, can you hear it? Can you hear that, folks? Give me a thumbs up. Blair says, I think I'd like to see it if it was public. You can do one of those mic reactions. Oh, nice. Can anybody hear it? Give me a thumbs up if you can. They hear you. Okay, we're good.
All right, so I was gonna give you a purpose. Okay.
Okay.
So I was gonna give you a purpose from something that I really attribute with acting and guitar, right?
Okay.
So when I'm teaching, people want they want the quick way. They want the quick route, right? How am I going to get this quick route to get where I want to go? I want to be a really good actor, and then they find out that a lot of times it's not so easy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You watch it on TV or you watch it in the movies, and you're like, "That's really easy," right? Why do I need to take a lesson or two? So you take a lesson or two, and just like with let's say a guitar scale, all right? Let's take a guitar scale, right? Take something like that, and it's like, okay, the basics, right? I've got a G chord, right? So once I learn that scale, I know that I can play that in the key of G.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What really starts to transpire when you start getting better is not that you have learned this scale and that you can play that scale in the key of G. What really starts to happen is learning the dynamics of that stuff and why and where and why those dynamics make sense. Right? Because you've got someone that can come in there and act a certain way, right? And it's like this very just like precise, I'm acting, and you can kind of tell they're acting. And you guys can all do this on your own. Watch movies, and if they're movies you don't like the actors, ask yourself why. Like if you can say, "Wow, man, it's just not good." Why? Ask yourself why was this acting not good to you? And a lot of times you can pinpoint, well, no, it just seemed fake. Right? So it's kind of like playing a song, right? It's like you can play a song that is like right, and you've just got a couple of chords, right? And then some guy comes in there and wants to play a solo, and he's like right,
Right.
everybody that's watching that knows that's a train wreck. Right?
That's how I play.
But I mean, everybody that's right. But then you get somebody who's got a little bit more experience in there, right? And you've got this going on, right? And they're right, which is much different than
you're not even thinking about your choices either. You're just flowing with it.
Right. And then other things like the dynamics, right? So it's not really a tune, sorry, but right.
I think Dennis is frozen. There you go. You're back.
It's like the internet just stopped and said,
it was stopped right when you're like,
stop. Whatever you're doing, stop that.
That's how it was. Like, dude, he's playing without playing. It's amazing.
It's amazing, but
so is there a particular go ahead.
It's just something there's something about dynamics that has always been intriguing to me. With acting. So when you're breaking down your scripts and you're learning your characters, it's not about getting every single little tiny word right. Right? It's getting that reality of what they're saying right. That it's do I believe what they're saying? Do you the people that are watching this, do they believe it? And you can always tell, like those actors that just, they make you cry, they make you feel these things, they're doing their job. That's what they're doing.
Right.
Same with music. It's there's a feeling there. It's more than just chords or notes. It's like I can play something like right? Nothing really wrong with that necessarily, but take like a Neil Schon approach to it from Journey, right? He's like,
interesting.
So
it's how they translate it.
and how they're feeling it, and it's not about just jumping in there and getting all your lines out, and it's about allowing that character to be that character and not assuming that I have to hurry up and get my lines out.
Right.
As in class, I tell people, it's not about you talking.
Right.
Your lines are not about you talking. Nobody wants to go to a movie and pay $15 to watch you talk.
Right. That's how you react to what someone just said, and that's why you're talking back. Correct.
What you're saying is has something to do with what's been happening. And if all you're worried about as an actor is trying to get your lines out, you're not looking at it in the right aspect.
You're not even looking at the whole scene.
No. Right. And it's the same for auditions, you guys. If you want your auditions to be more powerful and to be better, allow yourself space. Don't just go in there and blurt out your lines. There's no reason for that. I think most casting directors and directors, like they're looking for that person to come in there and make those lines come to life. Right. That's our job as actors, is to breathe life into those lines.
There's this weird unnecessary pressure when you go in the audition room. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, but how do you ignore that before walking in?
You don't. That's the beauty of it. That's energy. You want that energy.
Okay.
I don't want that energy to go away. I want that. But see, the thing, here's the real thing that you're talking about. If I was to break that down, the pressure that you're talking about is that you're trying to do something that you think somebody else, you're trying to figure out what somebody else is thinking.
Correct.
Right. Well, all right. So I need to make sure that I get this across because I think this is what they want. Are you actually reading the character through your eyes, or are you trying to read it through somebody else's eyes?
Yeah, it's really definitely through somebody else's eyes, which creates that pressure because you want to be that vision.
Right. Because acting is about interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, your interpretation and my interpretation are neither right or wrong. Correct?
Correct.
What it's going to come down to is which one of our interpretation sits better with their vision, right? Or also maybe they see something in your interpretation that they want to pull out, so they give you direction, right? Even if it's completely opposite of what they're looking for, right?
God.
They're like, yeah, but you know what's really great about this guy? He got every single line wrong, but man, he has passion.
Right.
And he wasn't afraid to go for it, Now, when I say don't be afraid to go for it, within reason, you guys. You don't do weird stuff, like drop your pants, or like we had a guy come to audition one time, he thought he was going to make an impression, and he like pulled his belt off and dropped his pants for some stupid reason. I was like, what are you doing?
Didn't you say someone brought a gun? Didn't you bring that up one time? Is that you?
No.
Okay. Someone said someone brought a real gun.
That was at the CFAA thing.
Oh, that's right. Yes. But either way, don't bring a real gun to an audition.
No. That's the. Don't even bring a fake gun to an audition. That's
there
not
you go.
a proper thing to do.
God, I'm sure you've seen a.
Auditions.
Don't bring guns to auditions. That's the name of the show for this episode. Don't bring guns to the audition. Do you got any words of wisdom for upcoming actors?
Yeah. Did you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Acting isn't about right and wrong. You've got to. It's not an easy thing, and if you want to get good at it, you got to study, and you got to put your nose to the grindstone, and really give yourself the opportunity to be the best you that you can be when it comes to acting. Don't just take one blanket thing and think that this is how it works. Open up your mind. I tell people, if you're going to go to LA, go audition for Groundlings, because they're going to help you in all of aspects of your acting. That's the one thing I will say about Groundlings is it helped me in every aspect of my acting, not just improv.
Mhm.
Right. So expand yourself out, you're going to have to get uncomfortable,
Nice.
but if I was going to give you one piece of advice for everybody, and I tell this to all my students, especially my female students, know what you are not willing to do. Always know your boundaries and make sure that you are positive about that stuff, because you absolutely will be tempted in those areas. Right? So know what your boundaries are, know what you're not willing to do, and most importantly, know what you are not willing to do for free.
Amen. That's right. Especially for
that is
free.
going to be lasting forever because it's on film, and probably a film that no one's ever going to see ever. Right? Don't do stupid things. It needs to be worth your time and your effort. Don't just get put in a position where, oh my gosh, I'm in a panic position. I've got to do this because it's going to make me famous.
Right.
Well, that's not real.
Yeah. No, that's great advice right there. For sure.
Know what you're not willing to do.
Because you wouldn't want to see me in a love scene.
Going into it, it won't matter what anybody offers you.
Right.
Right. And if you have a price, know what it is.
That's true. If you have a price, know what it is. That's like $1 million man right there. Ted DiBiase. Everyone's have a price.
There's no role worth your integrity.
Right. Great advice, man. Dennis, thank you for your time, man. Appreciate
it. I'm sure that we've chased all your viewers away. So.
No, they're still here. They're still here.
What?
They're still here. They're
see them, so
they're still around. The MM Micers are still here.
They're like, what is that guy doing? Why is he holding that stupid guitar?
Let's jam. You ready? Want to jam?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. You riff. Try to riff to this stupid thing. This is what my integrity is worth on my podcast now. Me playing an Irish whistle.
Hey, we could be the new Jethro Tull.
There we go. Well, Dennis, before I go, I always like to leave a prayer, not by me, but it's a Sam Elliott prayer. You ready? Here we go. And now, a prayer from Sam Elliott.
Dear Heavenly Father, give me the strength, for I don't have any patience for stupidity anymore. Everywhere I go, I see someone doing something stupid, and I just want to smack them across the head, but I can't, dear Father, for you are the dude of this universe. Dear Lord, we're in a pandemic, and I'm starting to lose my cool. All I want to do is sit in my leather chair, smoke a Marlboro Red, and drink a beer. Coors, America's beer. Lone Star Barbecue. Amen.
And with that, my friends,
amen.
And with that, my friends, make sure you follow Dennis at Instagram.com/Dennis Glasco. Dennis, thank you for everything, man. This has been a very fast, almost hour and a half episode.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. We got some
comments. Me, man.
I'm just waiting for your wife to come in and shove the flute some. Oh, that was gross.
Me too.
That was.
You are recording this, right?
Whoa, that was. Whoa, and then Nathan claps for that. Awesome, Nathan.
See,
right on.
Rated, my friend.
By the way, folks, you can watch. I sounded Canadian right there. By the way, folks, you can watch. You can watch the rebroadcast on YouTube.com/Mike B Comedy. Again, Dennis, I had a great time. Thank you very much for everything.
Hey, man. Always, man. It's always a pleasure.
Awesome, man.
Love you guys.
And folks, one more time for Dennis. Big round of applause, and thank you for leaving comments and everything. And we will see you next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Me, myself, and I.
It's me,
Wow,
myself, and
what
I.
a show. Learned a lot about Man of Steel.
Me, myself, and I.
Again, I highly recommend taking Dennis's
It's me,
class. He's
myself,
going to make you a better
and
performer. You can find him on Instagram.com/Dennis Glasgow. And don't forget to check the rebroadcast of Me, Myself, and I on YouTube.com/Mike B Comedy. Everyone else, thank you for watching. Blair Love, clippity clap, clap, clap. Thank you, Blair. Everyone, thank you for being a part of this. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday night. Go to work tomorrow knowing it's Friday and Saturday's around the corner. Enjoy yourself, and we will see you next week.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, no. Gotta double dutch it.